Eve and welcome to Sibyl Tarot. This is a reading for all air signs, Aquarius, Libra and Gemini. Just a way to say thank you for watching my videos for the last couple of weeks and liking and subscribing. So I'm just going to do a general read. The spread I'm going to do is a Celtic Cross spread. It's going to be 10 cards and I'm just going to see what it is that lies ahead for all air signs, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising during this month or for the foreseeable future in any way. So the first card out we have here is the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is Earth energy. What's crossing it is the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is air energy. Wow, the cards are flying out here, air signs. What's crowning the spread is the Princess of Swords, more air energy. What lies beneath is the King of Cups, water energy. In the recent past we have here is the Three of Pentacles, earth energy. See what's coming towards you now, air signs. What's coming towards you is the Five of Pentacles. And earth signs got this in this position as well, the Five of Pentacles. So for some they could be dealing with an earth sign. How you see yourself here is the Ten of Cups, lovely water energy. The energy around you is the Five of Swords, more air energy. In your hopes and fears positions, see what's in the hopes and fears positions is the Five of Cups. Now I do have one message here, I'm just going to pull the last card, and this message won't be for all, but it's a clear message here. And then I'll do, I'll start the reading, but I just want to get this message out. I just want to make sure and it's funny because I have a lot of air in my chart, and I know this is, this resonates with me a lot. So it might not be for all our air signs, could be just for me, but it could, could be as well for somebody here. And the outcome we have here is the Ace of Swords. So, and the overall energy we have here is the Nine of Pentacles. the Nine of Pentacles is air energy, sorry, the Ace of Swords is more air energy. There's a lot of, you know, air in this reading here. So this is just a little side note on that, but it's really, really strong in this reading. So the first I want to say is, so we have here is the Six of Pentacles in the heart of the spread, the heart. Now you can see this fella here, he's a philanthropist. He likes to give, you know, share his money out, share, you know, the money that he has, you know, earned, or, you know, to share among the people that are not so, you know, so fortunate as him. And this particular card is talking about charity, you know, and I feel for some, you know, there could be a charity that's very close to your heart. And I feel that it's like that, because especially here with this Nine of Swords, this Nine of Swords can talk about sleepless nights, but, you know, or some type of anxiety or some pain of emotion or that you've gone through. And I know this really resonates with myself, you know, at not at this time, but just, you know, but a charity that would be close to your heart, you know. You may have had some, you know, how would I say, just stuff has kind of gone on, but this is what it's, you know, this is just for some, it's saying that something that's close to your heart that you can be quite emotional about, you know what I mean, and you've often, you know, from time to time thought about it and would like as well, you know, to do something, you know, to help in some way, to, you know, but maybe you just don't know how, you know, rather you know, you want to see the Three of Pentacles here. The Three of Pentacles talks about solid foundation, do you know what I mean, but it also talks about the home, okay. And we have here is the five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles can talk about having no home, being left out in the cold, do you know what I mean, asking for help and not receiving it here. The Ten of Cups also talks about home life. It talks about happy home, having a roof over your head or that, you know what I mean, and to be able to share it with family. But this card here at the heart of the spread is asking, you know, for you to probably, you know, help out in some charity. Most likely it's to do with the homeless, and also help in some way, whether it be that, you know, to offer, you know, some money here, you know, with this Three of Pentacles, whatever, you know, if you have any, you know, money left over or that, you know, or to even offer your services. What this is saying, you know, with the Princess of Swords, to take some type of action, you know what I mean, however small that it might be, but just to, you know, to help. Now it might not be for the homeless or that, but these cards here, you know, kind of all represent that, you know, but it's something that's close to your heart, you know, something that you kind of, you know, you have a genuinely compassion for or towards, or that, like, you know, it could be also to do with something to do with health, do you know what I mean. It could even talk about, you know, the health of let me see now where these go back. I know I can't remember. Yeah, it could talk about, you know, mental health. You know, the Ace of Swords, you know, is all about clarity of mind as well, but the Swords for me talks about health, you know, can talk about health and legal matters, you know. And this is what, you know, see here, your overall energy is the Nine of Pentacles, and, you know, this is somebody that, you know, can create their own money, you know, is self-sufficient, you know, they have contentment, you know, contentment in the money area, contentment all around. So it's asking you that if you have even some small change of that to spare, or even that, you know, you're in a position that you can help others, do so, do you know what I mean. And especially then if it is something that's close to your heart, it's saying as well that, you know, it can be, for doing this, it could be the most rewarding thing that you know, that you could be doing, air signs. So I just want to say that to, you know, may not resonate with, I know it definitely resonates with myself here. So now we're going to go to the overall reading here. Okay, so let's have a look. So, like I say, so now with the King of Pentacles here, the King of Pentacles is somewhat, but on a more earthier thing. It's a bit like the Libra card of justice. Do you know that there's balance that needs to be brought into a situation? Okay, a situation or a relationship, you know, and what it could be bringing you or someone around you, or that is, you know, sleepless nights is the worry. You know, it could have been like, you know, they say with sleepless nights, the wouldas, the couldas, the shouldas, you know, some type of regret as well, like, you know, that way that balance wasn't brought into a situation or a relationship here. You know, it could be also talking about for some that there's money worries, and if that's the case, that you do have, that you're worried, you know, about your money, maybe, you know, and this is what this card is saying, you know, and this, maybe you should approach a charity or that, you know, to help you at this time, to give you a bit of a dig out, you know, to do with, you know, your finances or that, you know. Don't be afraid to ask for help, you know, because you know, you're not going to be, you know, rejected. Do you know, that way you're not, there's no door going to be closed. You see here, they have, you know, this, like this, you know, it's supposed to represent, not in this particular deck, but normally it represents a church or that, you know. But this is kind of a reason why I like this deck, you know what I mean. It's open, but what you call it's more kind of on a spiritual rather than a religious you know, thread going through it, so to speak. But this, you know, it has the light on, there's warmth here. Don't be out in the cold if you don't need to be, you know. Don't be, and I suppose you're saying like, well, if you're broke or whatever, but, you know, take that broken ass up those steps and ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And that could be just, you know, for some. But as I'm saying, there's, you know, for some, there's some type, you know, of worry here, you know. And whatever it is, it's kind of pulling on your heartstrings, pulling on your emotions here, you know. You could be finding it hard to open up, you know. Open up your emotions, open up your how you're feeling. But especially here with this Ace of Swords is saying, you know, that you need to, you know, that if you are struggling, you find yourself that you can't, you know, speak to someone, or, you know, or that you do have a friend, but you just find it hard just to say those words, you know. This, you know, King of Cups is giving you, you know, the willpower, you know, to do this, you know, to open up and let people in, you know what I mean. Let people there to help you. That Five of Pentacles, it keeps saying that people are there, you know, you know, listen. Maybe you feel that you're a bit lost and lonely at this time. Do you know what I mean? You could be on your own. If that's the case, pick up a phone and ring somebody, whether it be, you know, a friend, a member of your family, or a helpline. There's always somebody there to help. Air sign. So in your, we'll go, yeah, sorry, I skipped on to that. So what's crowning the spread is the Princess of Swords, and the Princess of Swords is also saying that if you offload your burdens or your feelings or whatever it is, you know, whatever that's on your mind, do you know, that way you're going to feel a lot lighter, you know, and you're going to feel that you know, it's not as tough, or there's help there for you, you know, for whatever it is that you're going through. Do you know, now it might not be that you have no money or that, you know, or whatever it is, but this reading might not be for you at all. If it's not, click off. But if it's to do, if you think that, you know, well, maybe this is for someone else, you could either show them the reading or approach them, you know, and be that, you know, ear to listen to or whatever. Because if nothing else, if you talk or you let someone else talk, you're going to let them have a somewhat clarity of mind. Do you know what I mean? Clear their mind up, you know, that way, to give them kind of, I wouldn't even say, you know, just to, you know, clear their minds, because it could be, you know, their mind could be quite foggy at the moment. They can't see as to, you know, what to do next, you know, what step to take next. But it is saying, if it is to do with you know, looking for stability, looking for, you know, money, this overall energy, this is great, this card, you know, this is like being independent, you know, self-assured, you know, business person, you know, this is what this card represents, you know, the ultimate single person. It could be as well, you know, somebody that you look upon, that you know, you admire, that you feel, you know, they've got it all, you know, not that they've got it, well, they've got it all as a single person, you know what I mean, that they don't need to rely on anyone. Or this could be you feeling that, well, I shouldn't really rely on anyone. If that's the case, that you shouldn't you're feeling that you shouldn't rely on anyone, that you have to make your own money or whatever, or your own way. Don't ever feel that, because, you know, a problem, what is it, shared is a problem halved, you know, that way. But the Three of Pentacles in the recent past is also talking about a solid foundation. So, you know, if you haven't experienced it yet now, but you will, you know, there is groundedness, there is stability coming into your life, you know what I mean. It could be even a partnership here, you know, for someone. And when I say a partnership, you know, well, it could be to do with love, maybe not, but more so that the stability is being brought in, you know, teamwork, you know. I'd rather be, you know, part, you know, of a, you know, team than I'd, you know, to be romanticizing, you know, about relationships or things like that, you know, that way. So it's talking about, you know, teamwork, equal give and take, you know, that way. It's also could be saying to you as well, because you see the way this man is showing off, you know, his talents, what it is that he does, you know. This could be you could be showing, you know, to future customers or whatever, you know, what it is that you know, you do, you know, what you achieve. Now it's after taking me off my mind there, off track, I should say. That's what I was going to say. But it can also show that you know, someone's pointing out what it is that you need to do, and in return you will get solid foundation, you know. So like to say that, you know, if you basically what it's saying is, what you give out you get back. That's it. Do you know what I mean? And this could be that whole reading all summed up in one. What you give out you get back, you know what I mean? And the same. So you help someone out, you know, they help you or whatever. So then we have that Five of Pentacles, and we've already talked about that, what's coming towards you in the future, you know what I mean? Don't feel that, you know, if you're ever feeling lost and lonely, you know, don't. But I do see as well, you know, this could also talk about, and just, you know, for some air signs, that could be a friend or a family member, or that they might need a couch for the night, you know. They've been made homeless, they've been kicked out of their gaff or whatever, like, you know, they've been put out in the doghouse, so to speak, and they just need it, you know, a sofa just to stay on for the night. So that could be, you know, what that's talking about. But be quite lighthearted, not, you know, quite serious or that, you know what I mean. But how you're feeling, you know, or how you will be feeling is the Ten of Cups, you know, or how that you want to feel as well, especially if, you know, if you do have worries about you know, family worries or anything like that, you know. But it's coming in, you know, it's going to be there for you, you know. You are, no matter what, going to feel emotionally secure, you know, around you, because people are going to make you feel that way, because you are you are loved. That's, I've just been trying to think of the word, but you are genuinely loved, you know what I mean? You may feel that you're not at the moment. You may feel that, you know, with the Five of Swords here, we could talk about, you know, there's two-faced people around you, you know, that way. But I feel more so is to look at where you have been, you know what I mean, and where it is that you want to go. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you have been through some troubling times, to do with whatever, you know, whether it to be do with work, finance, you know, relationships or whatever. Look how far you've come already. Do you know what I mean? Or even just your own journey of life. Look how far you've come already, and try not to be your own worst enemy. You know what I mean? And I feel actually this is not actually for you. This is not for the querent. This is for the person or the energy that are around you. Some people are their own worst enemy. Just to try to remember that. In the hopes and fears positions we have here is the Five of Cups, you know, and this again could just feel that, you know, that you're on your own, you know what I mean, that there's a loss, you know, some may have, you know, a loss, you know, in their lives. It could be even a loss of finances, you know what I mean, a loss of a home, you know, a loss of some type of security or that, you know. But this card also says, you see, they're looking at the 3 cups that are spilt, you know, what's gone in the past, you know, and what's in the past is in the past. Turn around there and look at those 2 cups standing, you know, and this is what this is saying. If it's to do with a relationship, and you see with this, the Five of Pentacles is talking about soulmates that are left out in the cold, soulmates that are separated, do you know what I mean? So if it's talking about, you know, you're separated from somebody and, you know, you no longer, you don't feel that, you know, there could be a chance of he's getting back. This card talks about reconciliation, you know, so reconciliate can be here, but both parties have to want it, you know, and cooperation and communication is, you know, is required to do this, you know. And if this is the case, the Ace of Swords is talking about truth and clarity coming in, conversation coming in, you know, if it's to do with a relationship or whatever, you know, clear, concise communication. And if it is about 2 people coming back that are separated, that they need to be they need to be truthful with each other, you know, honest, do you know what I mean? Honesty is the best policy for, you know, to go forward or whatever for this, you know, if this is what you want, a reconciliation or whatever, you know, with someone. If it's not to do with that, if it's something, you know, that you may have worries about or whatever, or that you're experiencing a loss, once again, it's saying with this Ace of Swords, you need to talk to someone. You need to let them know what's in your head, get it out, and some clarity will come to your, you know, come to mind. It also talks about that if it is that it's something that you have more money worries or whatever, you need to get all your paperwork together. You need to sort it out, and you know, it's like, you know, a clearance. Do you know what I mean? Because if you sort your paperwork out or whatever, you will find that in your mind, you know, your mind's a little bit more, you know, can deal with things, you know, things are not getting on top of you, you know what I mean? You're not feeling as muddled because you know what's what, you know, that way. And once again, it's saying as well, you know, to ask for help, yeah. This is a really common thread throughout all the readings this week, is about, you know, asking for help, people having money worries, you know. And the other thing, you know, is about, you know, homeless or feeling lost and lonely or feeling down or that, you know. So it's, I feel that it's, you know, it's not just, and that's a thing to, it's not just happening to you. You're not, you know, it's probably happening across the board. And this would make, you know, a lot of sense, as I know now there's going to be airy fairy or whatever to do with the planets and that, but this is what's, you know, coming about, what's changing. But the good thing about it is, Like when I say what's changed, because we have Uranus now going forward in Taurus, and Taurus all to do with the second house. Second house all to do with money, with finances, you know, what and Uranus is a big change, a big shake up, you know. And because Uranus is actually rules Aquarius, and those two big major planets, Saturn about hard lessons being learned, and Jupiter about expansion, you know, but Aquarius is all about the people. Do you know what I mean? Aquarius is not for, you know, for the rich getting richer, you know what I mean, and the poor getting poorer. It's Aquarian energy. It's all about, you know, everybody having, you know, equal, you know, assets, equal, you know, things that they can, you know, access, people that people can access, everyone having a home, everybody having, you know, a roof over their heads, you know what I mean, and working towards that. Do you know that way? And I feel now in the next, at least, you know, because this is the Aquarian age, do you know, this is where we have to start, not that we have to, that we should always be, and I'm Aquarius myself, and I always feel that, you know, everyone is equal, do you know that way, and everyone should have, you know, resources, you know, that equal rights, equal, you know, give and take. And this is this Aquarian time now, this is the beginning of it. They say that this is going to, you know, be more profound over the next 20 years, but you're going to see a really big change now in the next 2.5 years up to 5 years, especially with Uranus and Taurus. And it's all to do with, you know, economics, you know, and not the, you know, not that 80-20 rule, you know. So yeah, that's it. Blabbering on, I'm sorry. So as I say, it might not be for all, but air signs, I do hope you like the reading. If you do, please like, share and leave a comment, or subscribe. Cheers and slán.